Hello everyone, I am the Phoenix, aka Ash, here today to get theoretical thanks to the budding minds of whatculture.com. Don't laugh. When it first transpired that Disney were looking to buy Fox and bring the X-Men and the Fantastic Four to the MCU, the most interesting revelation, alongside the initial excitement, was that Kevin Feige would be introducing them into the existing timeline. No rebooting, no spinning off. Marrying them together just as Spider-Man was dropped in recently. The mutants represent something more fundamentally challenging than just Spider-Man though. He is only one character who's young enough to actually cover him just becoming a superhero, whereas the mutants are an entire type of character. They're a species rather than something you can just sort of pull out of thin air, so there has to be some huge narrative reason not only for their appearance, but also for them never appearing before now. Luckily, there are a couple of possibilities in Avengers Endgame that could lead to the idea of mutants in the MCU, and both of them fundamentally depend on what happens with the Infinity Stones. First up, the idea that Thanos might have unwittingly changed the very fabric of the universe and reality. And if you are watching from this point on, there is some big spoilers for Avengers Endgame and the future of the MCU, so tread carefully. There's your warning. 2. The gamma ray theory. The first possibility is linked to the established logic that when the Infinity Gauntlet is used, it triggers an unprecedented energy shockwave that is off the charts. We learn this when the Avengers track Thanos to the garden and discover that he has used the stones to destroy themselves. But what if that energy blast did something else too? As Bruce Banner explains when the Avengers are weighing up who should wear the Stark Gauntlet, he is the only one who could possibly survive it because he is incredibly strong, but also because the energy is mostly gamma radiation. In other words, it is the same stuff that turned him into Hulk in the first place, changing his genes fundamentally to unlock the Hulk within him. It wouldn't take a great deal of writing to explain that the Infinity Stones had the ability to unlock latent mutant superpowers, since we've already seen them doing just that with the twins. In that case, the Mind Stone is used to experiment on them and they managed to survive whilst other guinea pigs died. If Marvel retconned the process slightly, or simply just add more details to it, they could explain that the twins survived because of their mutant genes, which lay dormant. And then to introduce a mass-scale evolutionary event, they could say that the huge explosion of energy from any of the snaps could have triggered so much gamma radiation that everyone within the same dormant powers had their X genes woken up. But that is not the only possible explanation though. 1. The cost of removing the stones theory. Despite the fact that Endgame's internal logic spends a long time establishing that the various branches of alternate realities created by the Avengers meddling in the past have to be cut off for the good of the timeline, some changes are unavoidable. Also, the creation of some of those alternate timelines is very deliberate, as with Captain America splintering time to create his own happy ending. There's also something else that the Ancient One says that could be crucial. She tells Banner that removing the stones from her timeline would be disastrous to her future, because of what they're protecting the universe from. Here is exactly what she says. The Infinity Stones create what you experience as the flow of time. Remove one stone and that flow splits. Now, this may benefit your reality, but my new one, not so much. In this new branch reality, without our chief weapon against the forces of darkness, our world would be overrun and millions would suffer. Tell me, Doctor, can your science prevent all that? It's interesting then that at the end of the movie, the stones have been taken out of the timeline and trapped in an infinite loop. They no longer exist to protect the realities created from the point of Cap taking them back in time to protect them from the forces of darkness that would overrun the world. The most important part of that quote is the start. Ignoring the branches, the Ancient One says that the stones create the flow of time. In essence, it could be possible that their removal from the timeline causes issues with the way that time flows and the way alternate realities coexist. What if one of those alternate realities, where mutants already exist, collapses and merges with the main line, or is threatened so much that the X-Men open up the multiverse to save their own universe and welcome in the mutants? With the Spider-Man Far From Home trailer dropping a very big multiverse bomb already, that could be exactly what we get when Peter Parker's latest outing hits screens later this year. And that is everything from me. What do you think is going to herald the coming of the X-Men in the MCU? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. I've been Ash, this has been What Culture, and I'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching.